Yes, Ruxa, please.
So, with this masterclass, I was hoping a lot of structure and a lot of things coming in terms of content. However, I also know that Bhavna works a lot on in experiential ways, and the way you did, Bhavna, this writing masterclass was like, something started growing inside me, and coming of my age, and I could feel things shooting out of me, and words just making a show in in a beautiful way. I just I broke many patterns inside me. I broke so much inside me, that old casts, and so I feel very, very fresh in the moment, and I'm able to breathe better with my words, with my with with my observation, with my now the way I am looking at things seems to be very, very interesting to me, and I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed doing it.
Thank you, Ruxa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ruxa. Thank you very much. Yes, Sri.
Um, Actually, I didn't know where I was going enrolling for this course. Just that little that you write well was a thing whenever I posted on my social media and all that. When I used to read Bhavna's sharings, like I used to love it so much. So I just need to do this writing course from Bhavna and see what it is. And I was not thinking what I'm going to gain out of it. And right from the first session, when she brought that permaculture thing as a, synchronization into the writing workshop, and that itself was like an enlightening moment. Yes, this is not just to write well or showcase it to the world. And one more that stood out is this is not just for the writing sake alone that you write a book or you write a blog or you become famous as that. She told that writing encompasses us as a total human being, the relationships, the communication with the relationships, seeing the world in a new perspective. And it is not that I can find anywhere else. And it totally transformed me as a person, not my writing alone. It just really made me think wider and be more in love with every small, minute thing in the nature and the human beings and see them in a different perspective. It's a it's a total overwhelming kind of feeling that I have that maybe I'm not yet ready to put in more words, but I will evolve. I'll take my time, but I'll evolve. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri. Thank you very much. Yes, Akshay.
So I think my learning of writing goes back much before this masterclass from you. I think from the first time I met you at the program with Judith, and just talking to you, I there's just something about the perspectives that you bring in, and since then I've been following you and just reading what you post every day. It could be the mundanest of things, but you infuse so much life into it that I feel like I'm right there having that experience with you. And since the time I started reading your post and following you, I've been wanting, like, I was like waiting, when is Bhavna going to do her writing course? When is she going to do her writing course? And finally, the minute I saw the post, I was like, okay, done. I can also step, like, I can get this opportunity to step into your world.
Yes. Yes.
And I have absolutely loved this approach that you've had of not um, looking at writing as a task, not looking at writing as an activity, but you're focused has been beautifully on just nourishing everything around so that writing just happens naturally, and whatever needs to be expressed and whatever needs to come through us kind of just flows out. You've created this space and in a way also taught us how to create that space for ourselves. I think more than just learning to write, that has been an invaluable gift to uh, teach us how we can nurture the soil, pour water in it, give nourishment, and allow whatever seed is coming up to just come up and grow into whatever it's growing into. And I think that is so beautiful because I have not been extremely comfortable expressing and sharing that expression of myself. But now I feel I'm in a space where I'm so much more comfortable in whatever comes up because I feel like it's it's one is it's uniquely me. No one else can write it like me and express it like me. And to have that in a way it's a dissociation, but dissociation with love, that I'm pouring all of my energies into growing this, but whatever grows out is just what is meant to grow. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Akshaya. Thank you for summarizing my work too. So that's just fabulous feedback for me. Thank you, Akshaya.
Virtual hugs.
Yes, Ramesh?
Bhavna, you are the best. And this is the best gift I can ever get. Let me chunk it down. I'm going to use all the learnings starting from now. I think in my first breakout, I was telling to Shweta, do art very well. Just like that, I can pick up the brush, I can do well. Not sure about the writing, but today I'm sitting in front of you with so much confidence. Today, I was able to write a horror story, able to write a humor story, like a way I was laughing myself so much. And I echo what she mentioned about it. It was not just about the writing. In the last 4 sessions, you literally broke my disbelief, whatever I had in my mind. And today was one of the best. Spoke about vocabulary, right? It spoke about how can I write my own local language. I was always thinking that like I can write in my language better, but not in English. Boom, you killed it, right? And when I started writing about horror story, I was like, I'm not going to write this. I don't think I can write it. I wrote it. And when she mentioned that, like, it was like awesome. Like, I was like goosebumps, right? So it was the best. And I want to repeat what I said earlier, right? I came here as a kid with scary about everything. Why did I even born? I mean, like, I was happy. I came here today. I'm in that discovery phase, like where I started recognizing things. I started building a relationship, and like I'm ready to go explore. And thank you for that. I mean, like, let it be a technical writing. I have written 18 blogs so far, and I have been recognized as the most valuable blogger in this zone. But to me, what I'm going to write the next article, it's the one, because you taught me how to be a reader of my own blog. You know, that is the fantastic takeaway for me. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
The last thing I wanted to talk about, the workshop was amazing. I also want to talk about the logistics. I have been attending a lot of online workshops. It never starts on time. There are like a lot of technical challenges, but the way you did it, irrespective of like what we all went through, stick to the time, like perfectly like started on time, ended on time. You gave time for all of us, and the way like the breakout happened, fantastic, right? Like I love to have this in person, but I really enjoy the way like you did it through Zoom. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you so much. And
I
thank,
want
yes,
I
yes.
want something is not to be recorded, just that I just want to say it. Which is, I am someone who generally, every time I am among a group of writers, but every time I even think about my writing as something I do, I look at it in such a, like, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I am enough at all. And for the first time in my entire life, I am like, no, I can do this. I'm actually good enough. I don't need to prove it to anyone. You have brought a lot of, I don't know how to put it in words, but you have brought different writers in me again. You've brought so much out of me, which I never saw it coming. And yeah, so I just want to thank you for that, for at least giving me something to love about in my craft. So I'm really thankful for that.
Thank you for saying that, Arza. And it makes me so happy and satisfied. Yes, Suresh.
So I've been writing for maybe 20 plus years, and the only other time I had a professional coaching thing like this was at a news editors conference held by European Union in Jaipur. So there we mostly focus on the design and the structure of the story, how it should begin and how it should end. So when I started this online thing, I always wanted to learn a little more. I always wanted to improve myself. So I know your writing. So I wanted to see how it works for me. So when this class is offered, actually I don't even remember time schedules and all, but I somehow correctly remembered. And the moment I told you that I'm going to do, you sent me a professional mail with the date, the Zoom link, the passcode, and the 2 writing samples, and how the schedule will be, and all that. So, and then when I started the class, you asked us to feel our body and asked to get spices and pepper. I was like, thank God this class is not a real thing, it's a virtual thing. I can stay in my safe space. But somehow this barriers broke and I learned a little more about myself. I'm feeling more about my environment that everybody has felt. But what I really liked about what you have done is a very professional feel about the class, the scheduling of the class, the feedback, and the feedback is professional. And suppose like I missed a portion of the second day's class. So there was a video recording. I could go back to and see the video recording. So that's very professional. And actually, I was thinking I should ask my colleagues who are working in the newspaper, who always want to have that little bit of extra that can push them a little ahead, to attend your class and work with you. Thank you, Bhavna. I really learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suresh. Thank you. Yes, Shweta.
So first of all, when I had signed up for this class, writing has been something which has always been in my mind, and I always wanted to write it down, but I couldn't do it. But when this class came, I thought that let me see whether I'm good at it or I'm okay at it. Let me just see whether I can just do it. And that's how I signed up for this class. The very first slide that you showed was the permaculture. And I was like, am I in the right class? Because it reminded me of botany, a subject which I really I was like, oh shit, is it going to go into all that botany discussions? And I was like, how is writing ever connected to permaculture? Two opposite things. And when you said about the soil, environment, and I was like, okay, how does this make sense? So I was like, okay, let us wait and watch. And I think all the 4 sessions that I've had, I think it explained so beautifully. It was like an onion. Every time one layer used to unveil, and we used to be like so shocked and surprised about ourselves. I remember first day after the workshop, I told my husband that, you know what, everyone's so talented in this team, like in different fields. When articulate when they speak. The artists that we have, like, they're so amazing. I feel that I'm like so little in front of all of them. Like, let me start. And another thing that I felt always was that I used to always feel that writing is just an interplay of words, and and it just somehow gets that emotion in us. But now I feel it's not interplay. It is actually like a permaculture. It is actually like the seed that you put in and the emotions that you get, like from the 5 modalities or from just observing people. And I started, learning little by little. And I think the best part about this masterclass was that you never told us that, this is the structure. It has to have a starting, it has to have a middle, it has to have an ending. The starting has to be either shocking or the ending has to be shocking. It was never that way. I think you just let us grow like the seed. You never told the seed what is to be done. It was just trying to open itself and just learn about the environment around it. So I think we started like that seed which has just sprouted and seeing the environment around us and growing, just letting life take us through and getting those interplay of words that I used to feel were dead to so much of life.
Yeah.
So that is what I felt was amazing. And the best part is you taught us in a way by not actually giving us the structure. We individually, all of us, like when I hear the stories, all of us have just taken such beautiful routes and the beautiful directions of looking at the same thing. And you told us it's okay to be centric, it's okay to be different, and it's okay to be ourselves. So I think that's what I feel. It's an amazing thing. And the best part about it is that when I said that, okay, maybe I'll write it, maybe by writing I'll be better. But I stopped it. I'm like, let me just say whatever I want to. So thank you so much, Bhavna, and thank you everyone. It's been a very wonderful part of our journey.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shweta. Thank you everyone for, well, I feel very satisfied, happy, and now I'm going to go and celebrate in some form. So thank you so much for this companionship and allowing me to explore this kind of interconnections. And, a lot of your support only helped me really grow it. Otherwise, it doesn't happen without the support of the participants and their engagement and the openness and the curiosity that you brought in. So thank you for making these 2 weeks. I loved designing and working and thinking and reading and working with all of you. So thank you for making these 2 weeks for me.